So in the new Lilo and Stitch, Nani decides to just let someone else adopt Lilo so she can go to college. Anyways, welcome back to Wake of the Red Death. Midgame campaign.
Why do we open with that?
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. People need to know. Don't see. I mean, it'll be like weeks before this goes up, but don't see the movie. Don't see the. So like, okay, Jumba, right? Lilo and Stitch is a really well designed kids movie. Like, having worked in a daycare center for over 5 years, very few movies hold kids' attention like Lilo and fucking Stitch. I think like the grand prize winners in American Tail, I've never seen kids more glued to a movie than that. And like Emperor's New Groove and Lilo and Stitch are fighting for second place. That movie is really well designed for its audience and for its message. And like one of the really interesting things about it is how like the alien side of things is a direct mirror of the human side. Stitch is Lilo. Gantu is Myrtle, complete with both of them saying at one point, "Does this look infected to you?" after being bitten by their respective counterparts. The Grand Councilwoman is Cobra Bubbles. Pleakley is David. And Gantu, sorry, not Gantu, and Jumba is Nani, where like both of them weren't really expecting to be in a parental role, but end up into it, and though they struggle with that, they also end up being incapable of leaving it, because family is important. You know? It's sort of like, that's the whole plot of the fucking movie. Like, Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. You know, even if it's hard, even if you don't know if you're up to the task, you gotta try for the people you care about and love. That's Lilo and Stitch. Children's movie. Really easy message. And they fucked it up on both counts! Both sides of it! They fucked it up because they made Jumba a villain because they couldn't have the fucking budget to bring in Gantu. So Jumba's evil now. They made him evil and unrepentant, and he never becomes a father figure for Stitch and Lilo. And Nani's like, you know what? CPS, take Lilo away. She's a burden. I gotta go on to college, but I'll visit sometimes. What the fuck? What the fuck, though? What the fuck? Anyways, back to Wake of the Red Death. Our Midgame campaign set. 500 years after Wizards Mysteries? Somewhere. Some number of centuries. We kind of pinned it down. Closer than that, maybe it's more like 300 or 200. What matters is that there was a plague, lots of people died. Last time we were here, everyone went to the town of Venusia. It was a very horny session, which of course Venus, the goddess of love, would appreciate. And now the gang is on their way to the Desolate Mire. So we're gonna begin in Venusia. Like, seriously though, Nani just lets Lilo like they just. Anyways, we're in Venusia. We're in Venusia. It's time to move forward with our lives, like Nani did when she abandoned her child sister.
Okay, don't word it like that.
That's it. That's what it is. That's the truth.
Don't word it like that.
You aren't Greek. You can't just throw out sister daughter out in the wild.
It's a child sister. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I know.
don't word it like that.
I made it worse specifically.
Yeah, you did. Her child sister daughter.
God, fuck.
I can't wait for Disney to do a CGI remake of Hansel and Gretel and make the parents abandon the kids in the woods to starve a good thing.
Jesus.
You know, thinking about what I just said, dear God, how would they fuck up Emperor's New Groove?
I don't think they.
Oh,
How would
God.
How would they? Well, I mean, I didn't think they would even make Lilo and Stitch, because both of them were sort of oddballs that were expected to be failures, but have gotten sort of a cult classic status. And I'm trying to think of how they'd fuck up Emperor's New Groove, and everything I'm thinking is awful. Anyways, we gotta get into the game. We gotta stop being distracted.
I mean,
just because Nani had to stop being distracted by caring for her fucking sister, we gotta cut the distractions out of our lives. We gotta cut the distractions out of our lives. Anyway.
Thank you, Disney, for making such a horrible movie that you're interrupting my role-playing games. You were a
Alright,
part of my
back to the-
childhood, and now you are, against my will, part of my adulthood.
Fucking Disney adults, I swear.
It sounds like just the Disney fucking credo. You're part of my childhood. Now, damn it, you're part of my adulthood.
Against
Fucking
my
Disney
will.
adults, I swear.
Plus, I've made some very good dolls this week, and God can't
You
take that away
have.
from me, and neither can Disney.
Tumblr
Anyways,
Willow.
we're back. Yeah, God damn it! fucking,
God.
fucking Tumblr is pulling a nanny on me and abandoning me to the fucking wolves.
Hey,
Fucking hell.
but you at least have somewhere you can be adopted by. It's called Blue Sky.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. That's a fucking phrase now. Pulling a nanny on me is when you abandon something that you owed some level of fealty to.
Well, it's a good thing that Alex is a Don Bluth prince and not a Disney prince.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the. I don't know what brought this on. Anyways, back into the game.
Mind-boiling rage is what brought it on.
Yeah.
We have fun
I
here.
don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it on Tumblr because I know I'm going to get like a bajillion asks about it, and I don't want to. So I guess this is where it popped out. Anyways, back to
You
the
can do it
session.
on Blue Sky. You don't really get asked. You don't get asked on
You
there.
can't go on a big rant on Blue Sky. The microblogging format isn't suited. You know?
You say
It's
back
not-
to the session. I don't think the session's begun yet.
I mean, it's been recording, so this is all being in there.
Yeah.
Plus,
This is gonna be in the session.
I'm too lazy
I
to
know
stop.
people go on rants on Twitter, and they're all fools. All of them. It's not built for it. It's not the kind of blog platform that's built for it. And like there is like an art to a long Twitter thread, but you can't have the like. There is something about seeing big chunky paragraphs that makes you go, "Oh, they're pissed," or "Oh, they're passionate," or "Oh, they have a lot to say." Whereas when it's in that microblogging format, visually, it just doesn't have the same psychological impact. Which is why it really sucks that Tumblr is being a fucking nanny on me right now. And fucking censoring shit at random while letting a bunch of titty pics just go on willy-nilly without a single fucking potentially mature content label. It's pulling a real nanny on me, Tumblr.
No.
I'm not pulling a nanny on. I'm not pulling a nanny on Wake of the Red Death. We are getting the session started.
Lest we become mired in our frustrations, let's go traverse an actual swamp.
All right. Is there any business you guys would like to finish up in in Venusia before you head out into a nasty, desolate swamp that, like Nani, has no love for you or any children?
I suppose it would behoove us to ask the locals who live nearby to the swamp what we should expect from a name called the Desolate Mire.
That is a good. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you just the Desolate Mire. Has always been keeping with life, in particular a variety of arcane creatures, which is why it's called a Desolate Mire by humans. The humans, it's like this huge chunk of land that is very hostile towards them and is very hard to extract any resources out of because of it. Thus, it's desolate. But from an biodiversity perspective, it's always been really flush and thriving with a great number of different creatures, many of which are arcane. Of course, like all areas, it has been hit by the Red Death, and thus the population has decreased. But because it was so thriving, that doesn't mean it's at zero. It's going to be quite as ghostly as the forests you've been to. There's still a lot of life in there.
Yeah, 50% of a lot is still a lot.
You're gonna see a lot of swamp creatures. There are some rumors that there's at least one dragon with Hydra syndrome living in the swamp. As well as many other reptilian things that may or may not be dragons. And of course, the Mars militia has been coming through there when it comes to visit Venusia, so there is a possibility you might meet some Mars militiamen, because every now and then they send a scout troop to see if things are still holding up, all right down here in Venusia, and Venusia pulled this whole thing. They convert most of the scout troop and send one person out to say, "Yep, it's all good. Don't go to Venusia. It's fine."
All right. As I understand it,
I
goblins.
like how Venusia has basically become a honeypot trap where every time the Mars Militia sends more guys in, they lose more guys without knowing it.
Yeah, they're full on doing a Return of the Living Dead thing. It's like, send more cops,
So they're
Send
building it up.
dudes!
send more paramedics.
Send dudes! Well, you're coming from Venusia. Do you mean nudes? No, we need more men!
There's plenty of those. Don't worry. The nudes, that is.
But as I understand it, a lot of goblins love swamps. So I wonder how Gore's gonna feel about that.
Yeah.
Neat.
If it's
Swamps
gonna
are
be
very hospitable to goblins. Although this
homey.
is not a swamp that has a very well-known large goblin presence.
Probably on account of the multiple giant reptiles who are probably very hungry.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fairy swamp. It's a normal swamp in a world where there are magical animals.
Yes, but
Mhm.
it looks like. Can you zoom out to the big map?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
The desolate Maya.
There's a few crossroads in here and a swamp. Likelihood of demon activity.
Maybe,
Awesome.
perhaps.
Well, one of us is going to be summoning a demon.
Yeah, Alex would want to bring that up with you all. The notion that he'll want to summon Andromalius soon. But
Is that
Oh, that's good.
safe?
Thank you for reminding me of that, because that means I have to also get up Currents of War out so I can have access to Andrew Malleus's character sheet.
as to answer that question, no, of course it's not safe. It's a demon who apparently wants to teach me a lesson. But it's better that we do it in the Maya than, in a city.
I suppose.
You heard what he said. He could teach me things. And it's only going to get rougher from here on. I mean, we're heading straight to Vulcanth. We've dealt with bands of Mars militia, and, I mean, we fought an army, but that was the top of Ollie. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not really good with the whole fighting thing.
Look, I'm not. I get it. I did snag some spells from Ozymandias' library. I get it. Pokes TT to remind them.
Like,
Sorry, remind me of what?
Just the spells that you were going to make for me.
Oh, fucking shit.
To be fair, a
Uh,
con happened.
it's been a
Yeah,
while.
a con happened.
I slept
Yeah.
since then.
Come up with acid spells for Nora. That's on my For Next Time and Beyond. I just forgot to do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I grabbed some spells from Ozymandias' library. I get wanting to be prepared.
Prepared.
It's just,
Actually-
there's a...
Actually, wait a minute. This is actually easy enough. So acid, it would there's one type of spell for multi, for fire, ice, bolt. I think just those three.
Mhm.
In the book, they have different names, but they all are structured the exact
Hold
same
on.
way. And then
Yeah.
there's one for like a big attack, but it's singular. For
Yes.
those three, I would just look at those, copy it, and give it a name that I think is cute.
Mhm.
And then type rather than bolt, fire, or ice.
And I don't know. And I'm currently busy right now on
Where's that spell?
In the Arcanist handbook. Are you an Arcanist? Enderman? Do you have no, you don't have any spells.
Elementalist.
Yeah, Elementalist is what I meant. Barbara, you had some Elementalist spells, right? Yeah, he had some. Okay, so Barbara, let's look at your spells. So
Sorry.
like for example, the multi-type version of Bolt is Fulgur. It's inspiration plus willpower plus whatever. Its damage is HR plus 15, and the cost is 10 times the targets of people that you're attacking, and that's how you stat it up. And then the biggie attack of Thunder, which is singular, is inspiration plus willpower plus whatever. Damage is HR plus 25 of bolt damage, and it costs 20 MP. It only hits one target, but it's the attack. You would basically do one of those for one of those the multi-type and one of the singular type for poison damage. And you can give them whatever name you want. If you can't think of names, just steal it from Pokemon. One can be Poison Drizzle and one can be Poison Drench.
Please load PDF.
Never.
So what? So okay, so we'll just take one of these, change it up a little bit.
Literally just change the stats in the name, and that's basically it. Like that's what I would do to give you the rough equivalent of the normal elemental spells, but for poison / acid damage.
So just do it would do. How would that calculate like type stuff?
Poison.
Poison is a type of elemental.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, the elements built into the stat sheet are physical, air, bolt, dark, earth, fire, ice, light, poison. Now, the character sheets don't allow you to edit that anymore. But I also include water in Midgahim Fabula Ultima, because I feel water should be a separate elemental type than ice, personally. But if you don't want to do that, you can just stat it up as ice for the sake of making the character sheet make sense. Poison, venom, and acid all would be lumped into Fabula Ultima's poison element here. And likewise, air is the equivalent of wind magic, and bolt is the equivalent of lightning magic. Hopefully that's explanatory.
Yeah. Just look at the elementalist spells and just change the words.
But the numbers are the same.
Yeah.
What isn't the same is Nani's love for Lilo, which apparently has been left behind entirely. But we're not going to focus on that. We're going to move on with our lives, maybe.
Wait, are we?
Are we
though?
though? Are we? I don't fucking know.
But yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
We were talking about summoning Satan, I think.
Sort of.
I mean, literally,
quite
all
that
demons are
high.
Satan. Well,
True.
you got to remember, Satan is not an individual character in My Little Demon.
Yeah,
although Satan is a
I
title.
remember.
My little demons, my
Yes,
little
I will find nice crossroads in this mire, the liminal space between land and water, and I will summon him.
Leans over to Leica. Is there anything we should do to prepare ourselves for this?
Would Leica know what to do in this?
I mean, if you got salt, that can be used.
I mean, when it got salt, that would ruin that detract from some Gold's rations.
He just shrugs at that. It's like, I don't care.
But would that stop Alex from learning anything?
I mean, salt's good for walls. It's good for setting.
So you can
Daddy!
make a salt circle. You can make a salt circle. I don't think you've been trained in the art of exorcism.
Look, if
So-
things go okay, we won't have to worry about that.
I mean, like
We're
is a
just
monster
like-
hunter, so she I think she has like a bare minimum idea of like how to deal with demons.
Do you have any magic?
Like I have
Yes.
chimeras of magic.
All right, you might actually be trained a little bit in the art of exorcism. You could do an exorcism ritual to make a protective square. So this would be a small ritual, just you and your party making a protective. Did I say square? A circle. A circle
Yeah.
is what I meant. You don't make a square. No one makes a protective square. You know who makes a protective
Yeah.
square? Nani, when she's abandoning her sister. So
God
you make
damn
a
it,
protective
TT.
circle.
TT, up. You meant a protective angular circle.
No, a fucking circle. An actual circle. We're not nannying this up. We're making a circle.
TT, you naughty the stuff when you mentioned round pyramid.
Yeah, you know, I've nannied myself on plenty of occasions. That's what most of my adolescence was about. Anyways, we're not here to nanny things up. We're here to make a protective circle around ourselves before we summon a demon.
Hilariously, not naughty in Japanese means what? So
Yeah. Like,
not gonna
what the
look this
fuck,
up.
Nani? Why are you
Yeah.
abandoning your sister?
Jesus Christ.
Good lord!
I might be mad about it.
I can tell.
Look, we're not summoning him just yet. We have a swamp to traverse first. I would like to know what's ahead of us before we throw down with the demon.
I mean, are we throwing down?
That was the implication he gave, that it was not going to be a sit down kind of lesson.
Well, shit.
Let us traverse the swamp.
oh yeah,
We go into the swamp.
Hey, give me a second.
Yes,
Is this playing? Is this music playing?
the music was playing, but now nothing is right now. Okay, I hear it.
I don't, which is weird.
I don't either.
Have
Well,
you
Alex-
turned up your audio?
Okay, I'm gonna do
Oh, there
something
it is.
actually.
well, Alex, a Greek, a Mediterranean with false righteousness, that's what he hates. So
I'm gonna go ahead and log in on Google Chrome because for some reason sometimes Google Chrome works a little bit better.
I'm hearing it. The
Mhm.
music is really quiet. I had to like turn it up pretty high to hear it.
It's a very soft track, but
It's probably just what it is.
See, mine it wasn't even showing it playing. So,
what is it now?
Playing.
well, give me a second. I'm trying to log in on Google
Oh, here we
Chrome,
go.
which I have not done in a while.
I hear it now.
Yeah.
Secrets of the Forest.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very
Let
nice.
let me just hop in here, see what the fuck's going on my end.
Which I think is from Chrono Trigger.
It is from
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger. I love me some Chrono Trigger music.
It's from the
It sounded like it.
It's from the Kron Trig.
It was either that or FF9.
Okay, there we go. I hear it on Google Chrome, so God knows what the fuck was going on elsewhere. Anyway, all right, we're on this beautiful map. So would you guys like to? You're saying you'd like to explore a bit?
The map is. Oh, there it is.
Loika shall take the Vanguard.
I'm the squishy wizard, so I will not.
Eh.
Show some water here.
Watch.
I'm not just arbitrarily hiding things. You know, it's just not much point in revealing all the hidden water because you know, fucking water.
Well, what? Watch the water. You never know what's gonna pop out of it.
You're walking through a beautiful swamp. The air is humid. There are the sounds of buzzing insects and birds and things scurrying about. It's a very lively place compared to a lot of the other wilderness you've seen. So hearing at one point it was in more team life is pretty wacky.
Well, there's just a lot of water in the air for my spells.
Mm-hmm.
Can Leica use her expertise to look for any like recent tracks of big monsters or anything?
Absolutely. I'll let you do a double insight check plus 4.
I'm going to cast a spell on you.
Oh,
And now you're mine?
Yeah, you're mine now, Leica. Where's it called?
Leica doesn't view you that way.
Yeah, no, me neither.
This is a hocus pocus.
What rolls are you rolling?
Double insight.
Oh, well, you could. Do you have a D insight?
I have a D. I think a D8 in insight. Let me check.
Well, make it a D10 as I cast Awaken on you. For this scene, your insight dice goes up 1.
Okay, so we're at 2D10 plus 4. That's a 16.
Hey, you do in fact find several tracks of intrigue. There are some that are very odd. They're almost like horse hooves, except when you look at them, the ring of the hoof track is actually 4 segmented sections that are just very close together. There are slide tracks like those of a crocodile or an alligator.
Hey,
And there are also some tattered strips of shed snake-like skin.
hey, TT.
Yeah.
Half of me is a witch, and I believe it was a Kelpie I made a pact with, right?
It was an
What we decided
Undyne.
on?
You said
Undyne. Shit.
Undyne.
I was gonna say,
But-
Gorse from Anglo-Sax.
I think Leica would be able to recognize a Kelpie due to
Kelpies aren't exactly uncommon. I like to throw them at people a lot.
yeah. Also, her mother notoriously had a TT run several encounters with Kelpies.
Yeah. So I will say 3 of you do have, once they're pointed out, the ability to look at those and say, yeah, those are the hooves are Kelpie tracks.
Yeah.
All right, we got Kelpies. So if you see any horses like struggling in the water, ignore them.
I'm trying to talk to them first, at the very least.
Are Kelpies
Well, they'll try to
sapient?
get you to get in the water, which
I know.
Are
I'm just
Kelpies,
saying.
are Kelpies sapient here, or are they just kind of
Yes,
enhanced?
Kelpies are able to speak.
Okay, just checking.
One like Kelpies, to specifically address some things, is Kelpies are fairies. In Fairyland, Kelpies have far more versatile shape-changing abilities, whereas when they are in the mortal world, they can only really go from their crocodilian form to imitation horse. But they're capable of speech in both worlds. They're just able to be much more devious shapeshifters when they're in Fairyland.
So with my knowledge of Undyne, do I know anything about like how? Would I know anything about Kelpie like reputation? Anything?
Yeah, Kelpies tend to be unseelies, although there are plenty of seelie Kelpies. And regardless of what court they're drafted into, Kelpies are not particularly loyal courtiers. Kelpies really do look out for themselves and their own interests and tend to be kind of selfish, kind of mischievous at best, downright nasty at worst creatures. That's the reputation.
Okay.
But they are sapient creatures, they are speaking creatures, so there is also a lot of individual variation by personality. Kelpies prefer to live bestial lives. They don't like to put on, airs. They don't build houses or wear clothes or make inventions. They like to eat and sleep and swim and live very much as crocodiles and horses do. They're just also deviously clever when pursuing their prey.
Okay. So I haven't run into any kelpies personally, but I know about them by reputation. They're
Sorry.
oh the
Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go.
No, you're
No,
busy talking. Now you
they are sentient. They can talk. Like most of the things we run into. But typically they're not big on the socializing thing. They're more like they'll join courts, but they're taking care of themselves is their primary goal. But they are still completely sapient creatures. So we should not go in with any solid preconceived notions. Those are just general rules.
Gonna say, TT, as somebody with a little bit of insider knowledge, anything that that Cora might know about the Kelpies?
They're very food focused.
Yeah.
So there is an easy way to sort of get Kelpies to give you a chance is to feed them. They like meat, and because they are, basically crocodiles in the shape of horses, they do not mind raw meat, they do not mind wet meat, they do not mind rotting meat. They have very strong stomachs. They love meat of any sort. And so you can keep them from going on the aggressive by tossing them giblets. But also, like crocodilians, you don't want to hand feed them, you want to keep them at a distance. So, you can maintain a conversation and some relative peace with a Kelpie so long as you don't let it get close while providing it food.
Gotcha. No, Goro basically, pop up like this. Oh, you just gotta kind of feed them meat, any meat. Keep them satiated and they won't bother eating you, provided you don't give them the opportunity.
All right.
This place is beautiful.
Ah, man flesh.
It is. It is. It's nice here.
Oh, Leica, I'm gonna give you one more thing, because a 16 is pretty damn high for a check roll. You see many slides, that's the what we refer to the tail drag impression left in mud by crocodilians. You see a lot of slides, and most of them look Kelpie appropriate size-wise, something for a horse-sized crocodilian. There's one that's a lot bigger.
Oh.
Like, a lot bigger. And it's not a dragon style tail, it's a crocodilian style tail. The paddle and the big square scales. Dragons are, descended from monitor lizards, so their tails are round and cord-like. Whereas a crocodile is a big flat paddle. This is a crocodilian tail. It's just really fucking big. The slide is, that is.
Alright, this is either from the first recorded instance of a giant Kelpie, or this is something else.
I'm guessing crocodiles aren't common this side of the world.
Well, Midgard isn't purely Europe, so there are actually a number of crocodiles and crocodile offshoots in Midgard.
Okay.
One of the most recent additions to the Midgard bestiary that I made were Chelsea dials, which are domesticated crocodiles used by wizards as guardians.
Oh my god.
Of course.
That can fly.
Oh
So
my god.
they're the crocodiles that wizards have in the ceiling of their shop. But yeah, like there are a number of arcane crocodilians. They aren't super common. They're not like dragons where, you know, everyone knows about them and they appear, you know, very populous, but like they get around just like crocodiles do in our world. And they tend to be attuned to water magic specifically.
That's cans.
So judging by the size of the slide, does this seem like the Hydra that was talked about, or?
Well, like I said, it's not a dragon style tail. You know, dragon tails are long, you know, cords. They're big, thick, round, serpentine, lizard-like tail. Is a crocodilian tail slide. You know, it's a flat, fit, you know, broad paddle that slid through the water with square-shaped scales rather than the pebbly scales that dragons tend to have. So whatever made this was definitely not a dragon. It is to give a modern sense of scale, whatever made it would probably be of an appropriate size to fight King Kong.
Oh.
Oh.
Well then. How about we go meet him?
Can't believe we're gonna fight Tyrantus' great-great-grandfather.
Oh God! Don't say
See,
that.
Bringing up King Kong, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be the carnivorous sauropod.
No.
Don't know if they have flat tails.
I mean, arms are a thing.
Who knows?
In this world, water horses is what we call plesiosaur style retrosaurs.
Ah,
Oh boy. So there's some shed skin, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna pick some of that up and like.
that's
Does it all look to be like the same kind of shed skin? In
Yeah,
different
these
sizes?
are strips. These are strips of shed skin from something. So, like, they
Okay.
probably got caught on a tree branch or even just a rough piece of bark. Maybe whatever was shedding specifically was sort of trying to get it off. And just this long strip of skin. It looks very much like snake skin.
Okay. So as far as I can tell, there's not like multiple species here.
I would say from these things you have figured out that there are at least 3 different species of things here. There are kelpies, there's whatever the big crocodile was, and then there's whatever made this shed skin. Because the
Okay.
shed skin is more like snake scales or lizard scales than it is like crocodile scale.
All right.
Okay.
The shed
So-
skin. The shed skin might be a dragon, or a dragon.
Something serpentine. So dragons possible. Basilisk even. Basilisks do tend to prefer muggier. Do they tend to prefer like muggier areas?
A lot of basilisks are swamp dwelling species, but there's a wide variety of them. You can find them in almost any environment.
Yeah. There could be a basilisk, but you know that's it could just as likely to be a dragon or another relative.
While the rest of you are nerding and trying to figure out what the hell could eat us, Alex is digging around on the ground.
Alex?
Oh dear.
Did you find something, Alex? Oh, fuck.
As you are all looking around, something emerges out of the slimy swamp water. An enormous serpent with purplish black scales and 2 flaring frill-like ears, or ear-like frills, and 2 tiny nubby horns on the top of its triangular head. And then a second one emerges, and a third, and an enormous
Oh, fuck.
serpentine body rises out from behind them. as you see, covered in patches of cloudy scales that haven't fully shed yet, a very annoyed and frustrated looking Hydra. Roll initiative.
Oh,
Someone's grouchy because of the scales.
well, I mean, before we jump into a battle, excuse me, do you need some help shedding those scales?
You gotta wait till initiative.
Uh,
Yeah, it emerged and saw prey.
yeah.
Oh, hey,
Where's
Liza.
initi- God, how do I do initiative again?
I can roll crap, and
Well,
even then,
right.
actually
Remember, we
catch
elect
up.
one person
That's
to roll,
right.
and then
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep, you do a group chat.
It's under
Everyone
stats.
would get, so you elect one person to be the group, the leader. Everyone else who gets a 10 or above adds 1 to the leader's ultimate roll.
Well, I can roll the 16.
I can't roll a negative.
See, Evan. DK, remember that you have your insight up a die. Don't know if it'll come in handy, but like it lasts for a scene.
I think the scene's over because we got attacked.
No, this is
No,
still the same.
Yeah, that's a powerful spell. I do not think it would be gone that soon.
All right, let me roll another D10, a D10 then, since I think initiative is Dex plus Insight.
Yeah.
They rolled a 3, so nope, rolled the same amount. Never mind.
That's funny.
Same roll.
Um,
Well.
So you guys got a 17, which is 1 below the Hydra's initiative. Oddly enough, it turns out a 3-headed monster is pretty good at picking out when to attack.
Did Nora roll initiative? Yeah, she did. Nora
Yes.
roll initiative. Did Alex?
Yep.
Yeah, Alex did. Yeah, everyone did. Yeah. For once, the monster goes first.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time in the campaign.
It happened. Okay. So the Hydra, what are we gonna do, dude? Yeah, we'll do that. One head rears back, and snaps at, I guess, Leica, because she looks like she's an easy prey, be with an X on her like that.
Whoops.
Does 22 hit you, Leica?
It matches.
All right. So that's 19 damage as that head bites you and gnaws on you a bit.
Now it's our turn.
Yep.
Before we get right into fight, do we want to try and talk it out, guys?
They're cranky and they're hungry. Not a good combination.
Yeah, but that their skin is clearly uncomfortable, and I'm a doctor.
Go ahead then. Diagnose the hungry Hydra.
Do we want to give it a try? Yeah. Excuse me. Before we get into a fight here, I can see that you're having some problem with your molt. I do happen to be a doctor. I can help you with that.
Okay. I'm gonna say insight plus willpower this.
Okay.
Can you justify anything in your background of making this particularly compelling?
I mean, I've consistently worked with magical creatures. I healed
Also,
a behemoth horn.
also, it's post-plague. It's a safe. It might
Yeah,
be a sapient creature. It would recognize maybe Matt healers.
My
by
outfit.
dress.
My outfit is clearly a plague doctor outfit, and I'm still alive.
Okay. So insight plus
Right.
willpower, and I'll give you a +2.
Okay, insight and willpower.
The music just naturally faded out for a second, so I'm gonna let it pause and see how this works.
11.
You might want to reroll one of those. No, 11. I
11?
think that's pass.
Plus 2. It's not a great roll, but like it's still an 11.
The Hydra stops. Its three heads look at you and consider. Flicks
I
out a
am-
tongue. And
I have had
says,
experience. Oh, okay.
What was it?
What?
Did you get all that?
No.
No,
Okay, I'll
you were
go
not.
a
You
little
didn't
closer.
really come through.
A little closer to the mic. It says,
It's still not coming through.
I think that's the point.
I don't think there's.
Was that more
It's
legible?
just hissing.
I don't think anyone here
Um,
understands Draconic.
Like I might.
Can I? Yeah. Do we understand what was just said?
Have any of you learned how to parse the tongue of dragons? In your backstory before this moment?
Not me.
I have been to college.
Explicitly stated in your backstory before this moment?
No.
I mean, given who Leica's grandpa is,
Explicitly stated in your backstory, not going off of stuff about your it's like it's explicitly like someone taught me made me go to school to learn how to speak dragon. Or a dragon taught me the dragon language. Anybody? Does anyone have the Chimeras ability to speak to monsters?
well, look, I
Wait,
think Leica is a Chimeras, so.
It
But
is
does
a
she
s-
have the ability? Like that's a specific class skill.
That's way fair.
Let me double check. It has been a long time.
It has, yeah.
Mhm.
Are there any translations?
Nothing that I don't think you could whip up in a matter of seconds.
Hold on, where's Fabula Ultima? Fuck, where is it?
The masking god. Look, we like with the monsters here.
Yes. And sometimes you gotta hit a monster on the snooze, so it leaves you alone.
But look at the poor thing. Its shed is going so badly.
Unfortunately, negotiation kind of requires you to both know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, because the Chimera stability isn't speak with monster. It's beast monster or plant, which I think dragon is its own thing.
Yeah, but does
They
this
probably fall
have,
under the category of beast
They would
in this
be-
case.
they would be categorized as beast or monsters in Fabula Ultima's system, and we've modified that thing for Midgheim rules. In this case, it would count for any creature that uses non-human vocal cords.
If I had known that, Leica would have gotten that ability, but I did not know that was the specific
Something to
thing.
know with the next level up.
All right. Anyone else?
Okay, are
Because
there
given
translation
who
spells?
Because given that the characters like it is adapted from or associated with them in, I imagine the adaptation would also be the same, but
Mhm.
It is something to grab with the next level up. I don't think you're max level Chimeras
Because-
yet, right?
because I think I discussed DD that maybe her dad was associated with
Yes,
that,
but we also discussed beforehand that like this is not defined by canon
Yeah.
outside of Midgheim.
That's what I'm trying
know.
to figure out, because this is like, trying to figure out what backstory we did discuss and what was
Yeah.
counts.
I think in this case, you need to have taken that Chimerist ability,
All
or
right.
specifically said at some point, I was taught how to speak dragon.
Could I don't know because it's different species entirely, but could chitters do some kind of communication here?
No.
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 Fuck.
I mean,
Wooly might have been able to.
I
Okay.
think the proximity is Chitters is sapient strictly.
Hey, yes, he is.
I didn't say sentient, I said sapient.
He is sapient. Okay. So things at right this second seem to have calmed. Are there translation spells?
can I roll a
Mm,
Chimerist ritual spell to understand?
I think you would have trouble doing that with a Hydra bearing
Yeah.
down on you.
That is
Ritual
true.
spells kind of require you to have sort of a peaceful time to do a ritual.
Yeah. If I like, I guess that's what this could be. Where is it? Where's that spell?
I'm going to be frank. If it doesn't mean to kill you, it's going to be really obvious.
But it did just try to talk to us.
Yes. The thing is, like, if it's not currently eating your skull, it may agree to not eat your skull for the moment. We can work with it through pantomime.
Okay.
We're thinking too hard about this.
Yeah.
Leica grabs the shed scales and gestures like pulling it off and points to it and
I think it understands common fine.
Yeah, I think he understands us. I don't think we understand him
Yeah.
or her. Them. They don't have gender. I'm afraid I don't speak your language. But
Dragon heads are reptile heads until they don't emote quite as clearly as human heads do. But you do see a look of disappointment on all three faces.
Aww.
It's not super heavy, but it's like, oh, okay.
So if you give us some time, I could take some time to start taking care of your scales, and my friend here might be able to cast a spell to allow us to communicate easier.
And stop. They turn to look at each other as if internally debating something. And then the Hydra looks at you all somewhat warily and banks itself on the beach, stretching out, and occasionally points to different spots with the spade tip of its tail.
Okay.
all right.
Whew,
Leica-
I will begin
Leica
the
will do,
process of. Yeah.
Leica will do the Chimera spell to cast Speak with Dragon specifically.
All right. Like, its target is one creature. It's not the hardest spell in the world, so I'm going to say, like, minimum difficulty for this
Yeah.
Chimera spell. Ritual, that is.
Yep. Take some of the leftover residue she got from. I'm flavoring this like she's like doing like a little alchemy brew, like grinding up some of the shed skin with some of the like.
Yeah, conjurer style.
With some of the salt, some of the demon essence, that like ash residue. Maybe a little like a little herb or two, or like from Gore's pouch, and mush that all together with like a fine green mist as like a grabs her nose and just downs it.
Maybe we should give it to the Hydra so the Hydra could. Well, I know, guys, we gotta understand him. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the ones who would.
yeah, maybe split that drink up between us.
Just, like, you want to give the Hydra the ability to communicate with dragons?
No, maybe you should like let us each take a sip because
I mean,
currently right up against the dragon.
I'm just flavoring the cast on one spell, so.
I know. I'm just trying to add to the flavoring here.
Because the thing is, it only applies to me. Is that right? TT?
I mean, I guess you could. It wouldn't expend that harder to make it extend to the entire group. It's just 4 of you.
All right, then yeah, then the whole group gets a chug.
Excellent. Testing.
Hydra.
Honorific you. Is there
Hydra.
honorific you use for dragons?
Generally, you just think of whatever title sounds really grand and imposing. The general idea of courtesy among dragons is that if you're talking to them, you reinforce the idea that they are very impressive and intimidating.
Much
So,
apologies,
would
Your
Lord-
Grace. We shall help remove your inconvenience in a jiffy.
So, like, your grace wouldn't be the best because that's a human title.
Oh.
Would be more as
Oh,
like
Lord of the Swamp.
your magnificent
Ah.
tremendousness,
Ah.
your formidable scaliness. You
Alright.
know,
Grand
Descriptors
worm, or
of-
something like that.
yeah,
All right, so it would
descriptors
be-
of how like tangible adjectives about their ability to inspire awe and terror. You gotta think
Apologies,
like
Your-
Bilbo Baggins.
Apologies, your magnificence. We shall help remove these remove these inconveniences in a jiffy. Much apologies for our lack of
Thank
foresight.
you. Golly, it's been
That's not
such a
the-
long time since I've met anyone nice in this swamp, I swear.
Oh my god! Oh, your poor
Used to those
snail.
nasty fellers from up north. Whenever I hear humans tromping, I think, oh, it's gonna be one of those guys again. Go right on the chompy
oh.
chomp.
Oh, they are the absolute worst.
I know, right? Their armor it gets stuck in the teeth.
I love them, TT. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this oh, your poor scales.
Yeah, I always had the hardest time shedding because, I'm not as slick as a snake is, so I can't just shuffle it off. But I don't got the arms to help get it off, and the tail spade helps, but it's not the best. Of course, if I wasn't so averse to picking at it with my teeth, I suppose that would probably help too. But I just don't like the sensation, the texture.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
completely
can understand that. Well,
Thank you. I sure
it's
do appreciate this.
Yeah, it is a pleasure.
I should note
You
that this
have a
voice is
name you'd
coming
like
out
to
of
go
all
by?
3 heads this voice is coming out of all 3 heads
Oh,
at the same
great.
time.
Redneck hysteria.
I love this. I go by Janice.
I haven't picked out a human name. So I know that you use your magic to sort of translate your speech into my tongue and vice versa, but I'm not sure if that actually makes you able to pronounce what my name is. It's not like a human equivalent.
Okay. Is there anything we could call you in the meantime?
I don't know. What's
Rarely?
a human word for tail that thunders pines?
Tail that thunders pines.
Yeah, like this, and she lifts her tail up real high and smashes it hard into a log until the log splits with a loud, thunderous crack.
Oh hell yeah.
That's sort of the gist of what my name means. So,
Hmm.
Whip axe?
I mean, there's nuances to it, but I mean that's like the That's the closest equivalent I think you can get in human words.
Thunderstar?
So,
Ooh, I like the sound of Thunderstar.
Spade, Sundus Pine.
Ooh, Thunderspade. I think I'll take Thunderspade. Thunderspade. Well, Thunderstar. Thunderstar is a good name.
That is a good name.
That's a good name. That's a
Thunderstar.
good That's a good human name. And it rolls off the tongue not too badly in Draconic. Yeah, that's good. So you said your
Well.
name's Janice? Janice.
Janice Crow.
All right. Oh, Crow. Yeah, that makes sense because of the beak.
My companion here helped me find the name.
Okay.
I was struggling without a proper human name for a while as well.
Yeah, situationally it can be tough.
Yeah. Is Alex okay? He's very quiet.
I was letting you guys take the lead with the conversation. You're the ones who can actually talk.
I mean, so can you.
No, everyone got in.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone took a swig.
Yeah, just at a loss of words.
Oh, that is a dragon. You're allowed.
No, I mean, like, out of game. Like, my brain's not working.
Oh, as it goes.
Ah,
You know, I
Yeah.
understand the feeling because, you know, at the moment it is very hard to concentrate when thinking about how Nani just abandoned her
I knew
sister
it!
Lilo.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew that was fucking coming.
Like wet trash on the sidewalk.
So Hydra syndrome. That's when they grow more heads. Is that like something they're born with? Is it something that happens later in life?
It's generally something Hydras are born with, although it seems to start a little bit before adolescence. Kind of akin to how like sorcerers and paragons attuned to magic generally like a little bit before adolescence at the earliest. And it doesn't happen all at once. The heads will accrue over time. They generally cap out at about 7 or 9, but some go much, much farther than that.
And she has 3.
3.
Do they typically enjoy, like, I mean, obviously it's obviously it will depend on the individual, but is it looked at as something like they're not fond of? Is it something that they tend to be proud of?
Generally, it's something that dragons are proud of. Having multiple heads gives you some unique advantages compared to other dragons. Obviously you're able to see more, you have more ability to bite, more, you can breathe fire from multiple angles at once. But the biggest thing that makes it viewed as prestigious amongst dragonkind is the fact that you do have a literal multiplicity of brain power. Technically each of the heads is its own autonomous person, but because their nervous systems are wired together, they are constantly sharing the same brain. So it's really hard to parse where one head begins and one ends in terms of the personality stored in it, and their intelligence is constantly feeding into each other, which means that so long as the heads are in agreement, Hydras are incredibly intelligent and capable strategists. And capable of an incredible amount of thought. Many Hydras have been given the title of Philosopher King by dragons.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because they are they just have, they are constantly in committee with some very like-minded individuals.
And some like minor differences between them is probably a good thing, because then they have some slight different points of view.
Yeah, which again, not universal. There are some Hydras whose heads argue all the time. Some where there's an uneven power dynamic. There's variety, but on the whole, it is viewed as a positive.
Okay.
It helps that in Mediterra specifically, some of the most important historical dragons of Mediterra, you know, the dragons, many of the dragons of antiquity were hydras. You know, the Hydra of Lerna, the Hydra of the Hesperides.
Okay.
What was Scylla in
And, like-
Midgeheiim?
Scylla is a very unique fusion of like eel, leviathan, and human. My design for it is pretty rad. I'll show it in chat.
These two. Would be what, and they don't always grow. The heads don't always grow completely symmetrical, right?
No. And also like once you get past that 9 limit, the heads start the new heads start to shrink in size, while the center head remains big and prominent.
Okay.
You know, the Ladon, the Hydra of the Hesperides, had 100 heads, but only the central one was proportionally large, you know, and fitting with its body, while the other
Ooh, that is
99 were all very small and serpentine.
That is a sick design.
Thank you. I'm really proud of my Scylla.
So would complementing the symmetry of the heads be like an actual compliment, or would that be weird?
Like it'd be an unusual compliment, but it wouldn't be not wanted. So it really depends on how you flavor it. A universal thing about dragons is that they're almost all prideful. So long as you say something like it's a flattering compliment, they will take it as a flattering compliment.
Okay. 3 heads and all perfectly in tandem and symmetrical. Impressive.
Well, thank you, dear. Yeah. Well, we've all been together for a while now, and you know, we help each other out.
Hey, that's not always easy.
But barring
Huh?
the rude armored ruffians, has any of your neighbors given you any strife lately? Given after the plague.
Oh no, I wouldn't say so. You know, the Kelpies like to, you know, eat what I leave behind sometimes, and you know, they're generally not too aggressive. Sometimes they get it in their head that maybe they can scare me off a carcass, but I remind them that I am a dragon. Athank is a pretty tough customer, but he and I have an understanding. I take this part of the swamp and takes the lower part.
Oh.
I think.
Hey, the Athank.
Who's that?
He's just a big old feller. Got big spikes on the back, long jaws, kind of a snaggletooth.
That's probably. Oh, I think we saw some marks you left behind over there.
Yeah,
The big tail dragging.
Yep, sometimes he likes to go on this island, and I let him so long as I'm not hunting. You know, we can all be neighborly. For the most part, we keep to our own spots and give each other a wide berth.
It's a.
It's not
It
a
is
bad
a-
fella
it is
when
a
he's not
pleasure.
hungry.
Is this the first dragon we've met?
I think she might be.
Not counting the baby.
Because Uli isn't technically a dragon. Uli's a chimera that has some dragon in it.
Yeah.
I don't. And now that I'm thinking about it, you have not actually encountered a dragon till now. I showed considerable
Yeah.
restraint in that regard.
And you are the first dragon. Well, I guess Michael wouldn't have had any dragon teachers, right?
No, all the way through the end of the Lost Epoch, dragons never managed to, as a whole, comfortably integrate with human society, because the values of dragons and humans are just very different.
Okay.
You know, you have oddballs like Fafgander, who doesn't mind having humans live on his territory, but Fafgander still lives in a cave. And still lives outside of the school and away, you know, doesn't go journeying into town. you know, he's still very much a dragon. And you know, you have Aitvaruses who are fairy dragons, but the fairy is more emphasized in the dragon in this case. As a whole, dragon society and human society kind of remain separate from each other. And never really fully managed to like solve that divide.
Okay. This is I'm gonna regret asking this. Have there been relationships between dragons and humans?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
There is in fact a whole coven of witches, the Dragon Blessed Coven, who really like dragons.
Oh yeah.
They are some of the masters of one of the 6 most desired spells, specifically the one that lets you turn into a dragon.
Ah.
I
Because
think from the
Nadine and
context
I
of the
are-
question that generated me giving this info dump, you can imagine why.
Yeah. I must remind you all that, you know, Julie is in fact a monster fucker.
Mm-hmm.
So you are
mean
the
Janice?
first. Yes, Janice.
Yeah.
Janice is a monster fucker.
I mean, Julie
comes
Hazeltall
from-
is too, but still.
But she's
Well, see,
also
Julie is my
monogamous.
character.
Yes.
Yeah. You're the first dragon I've ever met. You're astounding.
Oh, thank you. I like to think I'm a very good sample of dragon kind. She actually slightly repositions herself to make her details more visible.
Oh,
These
yeah.
dragons love flattery, and when people start flattering them, they try to give them more to flatter.
Oh, these skill patterns are very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, they're nice and smooth. It helps me go through the water real quick and slick.
Yeah. I happen to be a wizard, but water is one of my specialties.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and keep those scales if you'd like. Normally, I'm supposed to, you know, eat them to regain some things, but as I said, I'm not very big on the texture.
Oh, thank you very much. And she liked thunder.
I think it's Thunderstar.
Sunder Star, the combination of the two names that I
Thunderstar.
suggested.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Thunderstar.
You're welcome. Well, you are all lovely. I'll make sure the next time you come in my swamp, I greet you in a more neighborly fashion.
Yeah, I will put some effort into learning your language. So Leica here doesn't have to cast a spell every single time.
Oh, well. She stops, and again, her heads sort of turn to each other as if conversing, and like, well, I don't see the harm. She goes to one of her ear fins, and nicks it slightly with her teeth so that some of the blood drips out.
Oh,
Go ahead and collect some of this. You can make yourself a potion out of this that allow you to alter that tongue of yours so dragon speech comes naturally.
oh shit.
Right. You'll take
Yeah,
graciously.
I'll collect that. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Because that is canonically a thing dragon blood can do. It can grant the ability to speak with creatures. And if given willingly, it's more likely to work that way as opposed to one of the other ways dragon blood can work, which is where it burns people to death on contact.
How much does it look like I could brew with this?
I'll say 10 doses.
Okay.
She's being generous.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm honored.
As you should be. And I am incredibly thankful for your help with my scale problem. And since I'm now nice and fresh, I think I'm gonna go for a swim. You all take care. Don't go too deep in any of the water, because there are a lot of critters that might view you as a tasty treat.
Oh, is there any undines around?
No, only fairies. I think we know what we got around here are the Kelpies. It's
Okay.
a long ways to any fairyland that I know of.
Raven, you were gonna say something?
It's like, yeah. Gore gets an idea. He goes, before you go, Grand Sunderstar, may I offer a gift in thanks for your grand hospitality?
Oh, of course. I love a tithe.
He offers 3 bottles of the Medusa Venom wine he picked up. You know, one for each head, because you only give 1 bottle for 1 head.
She takes the wine. She flicks her tongue in to get a little sip. Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, we're taking this to Vidan. Thank you.
Does a little bow. Happy
We're good.
it suits your palate.
Right, it does. All right.
Before
We're
she
getting drunk
leaves-
tonight, girls.
How do you
I mean-
flirt with a dragon?
Honestly, I think you start with booze, but
I don't have
How do you-
booze.
I
How
know
do you flirt with a dragon?
Yes.
I believe that's a skill
Uh,
problem. You should fix that.
You have to build you don't want to do it right away. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you that much. You gotta build a relationship to a point where they view you as an equal first.
Okay.
Dragons are almost always apex predators, and so it takes a while for them to regard others as being worthy of being treated the same. Most creatures are things to cultivate in one way or another. But they do recognize strength when they see it, and once the strength is recognized enough, they begin to view you as an equal. And at that point, they will view you the possibility of them forming an attraction is there. But like
Okay.
dragon intimacy is really heavily based on an emotional connection and an intellectual connection first and foremost, rather than a physical connection.
Hey,
Because
as someone
dragons
who
don't
is-
experience physical attraction until like very specific circumstances.
Hey, as someone who is demi romantic, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's
Ash,
a
before
lot of
she goes,
steps there.
though, Yeah. Can I make her like not literally a back scratcher, but like something that she could take to her den to use to help her peel off some of her scales?
I don't see why not. Especially because you're a wizard, you've definitely crafted weird shit before.
Yeah.
And Gore as a goblin and Leica as a monster hunter, and even Alex as a farm boy, I think, could all figure out ways to assist in that, because it would be some sort of rough stick implement with
Yeah.
blunted tines.
Yeah. The
Goblins are used to crafting weird shit. Monster hunters would be used to making, basic tool traps out of sticks and shit. And farmers would know, various stick tools for dealing with animals. So I think between the
Also-
4 of you, you could do a group check to sort of
Also,
figure
Lyca
out how
has
to do
scales
that.
too, so like she would also know like
That is
using
that is
to
true.
get scales would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Thunderstar, I know you want to get to your water, but I have had a thought if you'd like to wait just a minute longer while I confer with my companions.
All right. She looks intrigued.
Janice gathers everyone else. So she's clearly having problems getting off her sheds, but I think we could probably put something together that would help her with that.
It nods. The Gore will bring up. Remember, she has an issue with texture, so whatever she grips with, it cannot have a scaly kind of texture.
Mm-hmm. Alex, you've worked with, you were a farmer, so you've worked with plenty of tools.
Mm-hmm.
And Leica, you have skills. Surely you know a good way to take care of them.
Yeah, Leica whips out like a scale peeler.
All right. So we're gonna say this is a dexterity insight or might insight check, whichever works better for you.
Dexterity insight. That would be a 2d10 for me.
Cool. This is a group dexterity insight or might insight. You can choose whichever one works for you specifically. Check. The difficulty is 10. We're gonna anoint Janice as the leader. Everyone else has to get a 10 or above to add to it.
My dexterity is not great. Can I cast Awaken on myself?
Could also reroll.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, the difficulty is 10, and every success.
Oh my God!
Gives you a success.
Never mind.
You guys got it. You're fine. That's why it's a group check. All right, you guys make her a nice scale peeler. It's sort of like a rake with blunted tines that are covered in a layer of tightly wound moss that she can reapply. The moss allows her to dip it in water to keep it soft and wet, so that when it's rubbing the scales, it doesn't do it too roughly or too sharply, and uses the moisture to help the scales unseal and pop off. Because that's what you do you don't use a rake, but like with lizards that have trouble shedding, you give them lots of moisture directly to it because the moisture helps the scales slaw off. And you give her that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'll explain how it works and give her the descaler.
Well, this is right enabler of you. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you very kindly as well.
They also made sure that the handle or whatever had grooves and a more woody texture as opposed to anything scale-like, so it doesn't, squicker.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe even
and it's
specifically
sturdy enough so that she can bite it and hold it and grip it strongly without breaking it.
Mm-hmm.
And my 30-step plan to dating a dragon begins.
Just met this woman. The fuck?
Oh yeah. I hope to see you again.
Me too. All right, you all take care now.
You too.
And she slips off into the swamp.
Hell yeah.
And I write in the notes that we now know a Hydra named Thunderstar. All right. That's good old Thunderstar.
I love her.
And
She's
now,
wonderful.
now you just have to hop to that island and then down a bit, and you'll be on your way.
Hopefully not running into anything
Like the
dangerous.
Now that we know what we heard the name Nafank. Would Leica know anything about the Nafank?
Yeah, I'm going to let you do a double insight check, difficulty of 12. This is a somewhat obscure monster, so there's a chance you read about it in a book at one point, but you definitely haven't encountered one. And it would be pulling a name out of the list of monsters that you have not personally encountered or seen hide or tail of.
Yeah, Leica
So,
rolled a
difficulty
10,
of 12.
So that's
So,
too short.
Then 10. With a 10, the name sounds familiar-ish, and you do sort of like knowing that it's, you can guesstimate that it's something crocodilian. You get a rough picture, but you don't remember anything super helpful about it, unfortunately.
All right. Let's just keep an eye out for.
Well, I had a fable point because that's a fumble.
Da, 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 da.
Who fumbled?
I did. I failed the roll.
A fumble is when you get double ones.
Oh, I thought when
Yeah.
you fail a roll, you get.
No, no,
it's been a while.
It's when you get a crit fail.
All right, yeah. It's been a while, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm.
That's more. That's a monster of the week thing. Whereas you do get a Fabula point when you fumble in Fabula Ultima, but it's specifically when you get double ones and I think maybe double twos, but I'd have to double check. There are other ways to get Fabula points too.
Let's keep an eye out for this neighbor, Sunders.
Sunderstar.
Thunder Star. God.
What a badass
Sunder.
name.
Sunder.
It is, yeah.
Star.
An eye out for this neighbor Miss Sunderstar mentioned. Once we're in a safer place, we'll summon your teacher, Alex.
Hmm?
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, he does you.
DZ brain not working currently.
Yeah, just I'll be good in a few minutes, I'm sure.
Okay. Can I make like a little ice bridge?
You could also just hop over. It's not that far.
Okay. Hop.
Yep. Same thing. You can hop over to this side. There's also like an area where the water is shallow, where like your shoes would get a bit wet, but you'd be able to march through just fine. You can see it. Walking along the Simile Swamp with my friends and Holiday. Go ahead, walk right through, it's a wonderful, wacky day. Nani told Lilo to go get fucked as she went off to college.
Uh,
We're not gonna let this one go, are we?
I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not.
So you're not gonna let it go like Nani let Lilo go?
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna abandon it like Nani did to her 6-year-old
My God.
autistic sister. Not gonna Nani this one. Fucking movie. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. So as you guys cross to the next island, the minute you step foot on it, there's like a crack and suddenly several mounds of swamp plant shift and break open as these kelpies snap their long crocodilian jaws and open their orange eyes and look at all of you. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to do one more thing before we roll initiative. So go ahead.
Hey,
Do
Gore.
you have any
Hey, Gore.
last ditch ideas?
Like it reaches in Gore's back and flings some meat in the direction.
What's up, Dora?
I was saying, Gore, do the thing, but like already reached into your pack and threw your food at them.
Where did you throw the meat? Click on the map and make the little circle appear.
Well, where are the
Right there?
mounds?
All right.
It's like one of those videos of like people throwing fish food in a koi pond, and the koi just go fucking bananas.
The kelpies snap at the food and lick their chops, but how much of the food did you throw?
Imagine Gore has more.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
Is now they're beginning to trot towards you, with their
Or
reptilian equine mouths agape.
Let's throw more meat. I might be down to Godbread soon.
Down to what?
Godbread soon. I've been
They
rationing.
won't eat the god bread.
We might. It's Godbread.
hold
You know,
on.
yeah, that's a good point. They might.
I
There's
wouldn't
more.
waste it.
Take some of
Yeah.
the meat, break up the god bread, and put some of the god bread on the meat. Sprinkle like bread the meat.
Sounds like we're making catfish bait.
They're giving us appetizers.
Yeah.
That's very kind of food.
Yeah, I'll just wrap the meat in like little balls of now doughed up Godbread and I'll toss that in like catfish bait.
Because that's probably gonna saturate their hunger real quick.
I'm probably
They're not food.
I'm probably completely out of non-Godbread now. Or rations.
We'll have to. We will have to get you some.
Yes,
Guys,
get
we are
us
not-
food.
No, that was.
Uh,
We are not food. We are.
Well, now that's just not
Travelers?
true. Yeah, that's not true at all. You're food.
but are you hungry still?
We are.
Everything's
We are
food
friends
for
with
something.
your.
Uh,
That is.
you're trying to argue we aren't sandwiches as someone who likes sandwiches. It's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
You're
not
right.
fond of sandwiches.
It's a metaphor.
The bread's not very good. No, the bread's not good at all.
Hmm.
And what's the green shit in there? Is that leaves? Who puts leaves in meat?
Leaves.
They're talking about sandwiches.
Oh.
It's like they're satisfied. They're
Oh,
not
you
eating
feel.
us. They're satisfied. They're not eating us. We should move.
Well,
Yeah,
now they're gonna. Yeah, get Janice. Gore, you might want to move and see. Well,
I can't. There's nowhere to go. Oh, you're down there.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone make a double might or a double dex check to move very fastly and outpace these kelpies as they follow you hungrily.
Let's
Oh,
see what-
fuck.
Difficulty 12.
Leica's gonna re-roll that too.
Yeah, sandwich. So I'll go with
They're both bad for me.
All right, Leica rolled a
With the
13.
double decks then.
Is this a group check?
I'm a re-roll one of those. How about?
If you want to designate somebody of a leader, I can make it a group check, but I'm going to bump the difficulty up to 14.
All right.
I'm going to re-roll that 2. How about? All right, TT.
If we're doing it as a group check, let's all just re-roll just for the sake of.
Okay.
Who's the leader? Who are we
What the
designating
fuck is-
leader of the group check?
Leica.
That's the best. What the fuck?
2d10s rolling max.
Okay, you get an opportunity because that's also a critical.
Sorry, I'm being called out.
success.
Sorry.
No, that's a critical success. You got double tens.
I'm
You
being
got
called away
max
though.
on your 2 dice. Oh,
Sorry, I'm being called away. Sorry.
yeah,
Wow.
I thought called out was, like what I'm doing to Nani for abandoning Lilo, but now I realize it's being called away. Like how
Yeah, I would
Lilo was
literally
called
need.
to be. Sorry, go on.
God damn it! I would need to
Wow.
roll a crit to succeed on that check you just gave us.
Well, plus side, you all got away.
56. Yeah. Fuck.
So how's everyone doing?
Good, good.
I guess I'll do my double dex check again since. Is it better? Oh yeah, better.
Oh
Thank
my god, Raven.
I rolled. That was a good roll. That was nearly max.
I've got I have D6s.
I only have D8s, which is okay.
Yeah, I have D6s because I have D10s in my other stats. I mean, my soft stats.
Yeah.
I use brain, not body.
I use both brain and body. Brain and bod.
Look, I'm not physically strong at all. And I don't know if there's actually a way to really, like, make that any better, I don't think.
No.
No, I mean you're supposed to have some things you suck at.
Yeah,
That's why group
that is
checks
why
exist.
it's one of the reasons I took Awaken as well, to temporarily, up something if I need to. Oh, this is the first time I've actually gotten to use it.
Yeah, toss food to make distraction, then fucking book it.
Yeah, like, could we fight them? Probably, but,
I did stat them up so you could
I
if
don't
you
wanna.
wanted to.
It's more problems for the Mars militia if we don't.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's also
and
problems.
we,
There's also problems for everyone else moving through the swamp, but so far no one else is stupid enough to do it besides them and us.
hey, you're
don't-
not wrong.
I don't take it back.
Sorry, dinner got done. So what was that?
Nothing.
We
Time to
escaped.
Lilo and Stitch.
God damn
And
it.
you get opportunities, so you can go through the list of opportunities and pick one. Might come in handy later.
Which ones? All the opportunities?
Okay, let me get out the fabulous ultimate sheet.
Yeah, alright, then roll.
It's been a while
Um,
since I've traveled.
There's a whole ultimate. Don't worry about it. You don't gotta explain. I got you. I'm a loving, nurturing presence, unlike Nani, who abandons her sister to die.
God damn it.
The cheat sheet should have a part that says opportunities on it, that it goes through the opportunities and what they
Advantage,
mean.
affliction, bonding.
It's somewhere in there. There is literally a lot. Yeah, there's like opportunities. It's below checks. There's a whole list of opportunities that you can get when you get a critical success. One of them is advantage. You get a plus
Thank
4
you,
bonus of the next
Spectrum.
check you have to perform. Some of these don't make a lot of sense in here. But yeah, we have a clock right now, so it's not relevant. I don't think we need a plot twist to happen at the moment, although I guess you could call on a Hydra friend later if you wanted to.
Look, I'm going to date that dragon.
Like, why though?
I would say advantage would make
Why
the most
not?
sense. Advantage would make the most sense for you at the moment to take as your opportunity for getting a crit. So it means you get a plus 4 bonus to whatever the next check you perform is.
My last girlfriend moved on to the spirit realm.
Well, I could use favor to
I'm lonely.
make the Hydra an ally.
You could.
All right, so I'm gonna use advantage to make the Hydra an ally of us.
Okay, so you favor you maybe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, let me grab their token again, I guess.
PT, you put a dragon here in front of us. You knew this was going to happen.
I didn't actually. I haven't had a lot of experience with people to fuck with dragon.
Oh, I meant the befriending part.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
And I said date dragon, not the dragon.
It's that, I guess I was just thinking
Yeah.
of the Dragon Ball Z theme song from the 90s.
Rock the dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon, fuck the dragon, fuck ball.
I,
It was just-
you know,
it was just
I mean, Shenron
I-
does
I
have
am
that
the- I
Dilf
am a-
energy.
what?
Shenron has that DILF energy.
Sure.
That's how you get the Dragon Ball
All right,
sword.
so a slightly tipsy Sunderstar returns like, I just thought of something. We could hang out for a bit longer while I make sure you get through this swamp real good.
Thank you very much.
Well, no problem. This is fucking good wine.
Holy shit, 3 bottles got a hydro drug. He's like, what
Um,
the fuck is with this wine? It's
Good
terrifying.
It's almost like Gorgon venom is really strong.
One shot knocked Leica out.
It's the good,
Yeah.
good shit, but like, knocking a person out versus getting the dragon tipsy are 2 different monsters.
Getting a dragon tipsy
Yeah.
has 3 heads.
Yeah.
It's probably especially sweet to a dragon, because a lot of snakes in real life are really good at eating other snakes and tolerating the venom of other snakes, or even getting nutrition from it.
Mhm.
While dragons aren't
Hmm.
true snakes in the taxonomic sense, they're close enough where that would probably go for them too. So she probably really enjoys the taste of this fermented Gorgon venom wine.
Fuck, you're outdoing me, Gore.
All right, let's get on
Again,
through. All right.
skill issue.
Side question: did we have a magical ball, right?
A what?
A magical ball, crystal ball.
Oh.
Oh, a crystal ball.
I
Yeah.
heard magical wall.
Okay.
does
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. You've got one of. I also heard magic wall, and I was
I heard
like,
magic
I don't
wall
remember
and then
that.
like a Pokeball? What?
I've been a magic ball. I was like,
What?
okay, that made crystal ball's like, oh, yeah,
been-
yeah.
It's been like 6 weeks since we last played.
Okay, but also crystal balls aren't unique to my setting, though.
And
Crystal
I'm not in another setting where that's a thing. Anyway,
Like any other fantasy fiction.
fuck you.
I
Or
mean, if you
like
want, I can tell you-
Pee Wee's
I can
Big
tell you where to-
Adventure.
I mean, if you want, I can tell you where to get more of that wine.
Where did we get
Oh.
that?
There's in
Minerva.
Minervans.
Minervans, yes, thank you. I was trying to
Oh,
call it Athonia, and I'm like,
Oh.
that's not right.
No.
That's right. You
Although I
got
think
that.
Athenia is the sort of equivalent of Minervans in Southern Mediterranean, if I remember right. Well, then maybe I named it something else. I have to check my map.
But yeah, it's Minervans because, they have a bunch of Minerva-specific things like Gorgon and Arachne stuff.
Yeah. I'll let you tell her where, but I'll have something to add to that.
No, he's not gonna tell her where. He's just gonna smile at you.
No. Leica offered to share.
Yeah, there's a town full of lovely people down south called Minervans. Recently had a bad run-in with all those ruffians who keep
Oh.
trudging through your swamp. Burned down half
Oof.
the town.
Well, that's not good.
So-
Someone's got to stop those guys. They're chomping around everywhere, acting all tough, and wearing really just awful armor for the teeth.
We're working on it.
Good. Yeah, I like you guys. Real cool.
If you do happen to head to Minervans, tell them I sent you, because I'm from there and I'm
She's
decently
the-
well known.
Oh,
Go ahead,
She's
go
what
ahead.
the humans consider high philosopher.
oh, you're like a philosopher king?
She would, they would blush so hard if you could see this right now.
It's not exactly. It's their title
Um,
of governance, sort of.
No,
Oh, I assume
Well,
it's
well,
not
the
exactly
title
the
is
same.
chosen by a god, so maybe?
Oh, wow. I guess a
Oh,
god's
oh,
a god's like the second best thing you can get if you can't get a bunch of dragons to give you the title.
Precisely. We don't have. We aren't blessed with accounts of lots of the kings, but humans make do with what they can. Without evil, human lives and all that.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you do you have a crystal ball by any chance?
Can I get your number?
Oh no, I don't have a lot of wizard stuff. Not a lot of wizards come through the marsh. They I think the few times I've ever seen a wizard, they've been flying above. Cause you know they are easy to catch and eat. Otherwise, so I don't have a lot of wizard stuff. No. Sounds
if
cool
you
though,
do
having a crystal sphere.
Do we only have one? We've been to several places now.
Yeah.
I think each of you has your own personal crystal ball, isn't that right?
I don't.
Or did
think
you
so.
only get one each?
I'm pretty sure we just had one for the party.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we have a crystal ball that we use personally. So if you do head to Minervans and are able to pick one up, you could reach us.
Well, that's pretty all right. I'll see if I can figure out how to get one of those. I'm sure there's somebody who's got a crystal ball I can find in the swamp. It's maybe one of those armor fellers. If I hold him down for a bit, I can make him give me a crystal ball.
It would be a delight to be able to hear from you again.
Well, I'd like that too. I haven't had pen pals before.
Probably pick up more wine there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good shit.
And you tell them I sent you.
Oh, well, so
Court.
how far south is it? Because
It's
you get real far, it stops being so humid and it starts getting kind of dry. There's a long stretch where there's not a lot of water, you know.
all right. So you pull out the map, TT.
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
I don't think there's any convenient
God, I love
rivers.
Chrono Trigger music.
All right. So you know if you go straight south, following the
So
fancy human road.
she's somewhere right here.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of water between us and the Minervans.
Well, the Nine Forest would be have some water because it's a forest. It needs it.
That is true.
All right, so you know when you get out of the swamp, it starts getting into the deep forest.
Yeah, the one that's got those little mushroom guys through it.
Well, there's no more of the mushroom guys anymore. Well,
Well,
That's good. They were
there's not an
weird.
organization to those mushroom people anymore. They're
it's on the other. It's one of the towns on the other end of that forest. The one that to the south, but not like complete south of it. That's like the middle town on the. I think that's the north side of it.
All right.
I'd
Oh,
say
that's
like
cool,
the
Assuming like
west
north is where.
southwest. Is this or is it north, south, east, and west on this map? What it normally
Yeah,
would be?
yeah. I see no reason to
Southwest.
invert designs.
So
it'd
yeah,
be
if you go
southwest
through
of
the
the
forest and go
forest.
straight southwest, you'll end up in Minervans, right? And it's near the ocean and near the coast. So
All right. Oh. Never seen the ocean before. That'd be kind of a trek.
It is nice, and if you are there
I
and you
hear
happen
saltwater
to
is
see,
really. Yeah, saltwater is really good with sheds too.
Might be, yeah.
and if you happen to run into an Undine, there obviously it's not going to be just one, but I know an Undine from around there. It's one of the places I got my magic from.
Well, nice. Well, maybe I'll plan a little vacation.
Which I think that's actually the first, I think that's the first time Janice has said that around the whole party. Like,
Might be, yeah.
that she's part witch, but I think that's the first time she said that. Oh yeah, An Undyne is the source of some of my magic.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I love her
let's
so
move-
much.
Hmm.
Let's continue on.
By the way, when the Hydra's gone, Gore is going to elbow Yanis and whisper, "You should make a call to Minervans that if she shows up, that they put some of that Gorgon wine on your tab to serve to her."
I was thinking the same thing.
Good.
I'm sure Minervans would know how to react if a dragon comes by. But, I mean,
I doubt it's the first time.
no, she's a friend. Yeah, and, she's a friend, so...
And like that, you've conquered your skill issue.
Are you guys coming?
Sorry,
Right.
yoink.
Oh, hello, friend.
Oh, hi!
As
is that-
as you travel through the swamp, you come to an area with a very large log until it shifts, and you realize it's not a log at all. It is an enormous fucking crocodile. You see art for this fucker restored. Let's see. What are you? Yesterday. Come on, I know you're here somewhere. Here we are. You see an Athank, an enormous crocodile, with jaws long enough to swallow a human
God.
whole, a heavily armored body, and several very long dorsal spikes. As well as two horns in front of its eyes. They give it a very menacing look. And as you approach, its powerful short legs lift its heavy bulk off the swampy floor as it issues a loud, hissing, gurgling bellow of territoriality. At which point, your Hydra friend's heads snap up. And she rears and slithers in front of you all and says, Hey, they're fine. Get out of their business. It bellows and
There's so
snaps
much.
at her. They're fine. Get out of their business. Let them go. The two of them, sort of chat and roar and bellow back and forth for a bit. And eventually the Athank slips into the water and slithers off.
I love TT. I love her.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give her character art now. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's-
you are.
yeah, it's like, all right, he shouldn't
He-
bother you none.
Oh, thank you so much, Sunderstar.
Yep. Well, no
I'm still-
problem.
That was awfully kind of you.
Yeah, no problem. We are getting to the edge of my territory and his though, so you're gonna have to go the rest of your way alone. But happy travels, and may have a safe time through the rest of it.
Thank you very much.
And-
If you
I am
you
gra-
get
we
your
are-
hands
we
on a
are
crystal
gracious
ball,
we are gracious for being in your presence.
thank you.
your territory is wonderful.
Isn't it just? I think it's just the nicest part of the
It is.
Desolate Mire.
It's been a distinct
Well, you all come
pleasure.
back anytime. Same to you,
And
Goblin.
if you get a crystal ball, feel free to reach out.
Yeah. All right. You all take care. And with that, You guys have successfully avoided 3 fights.
Well,
Thunderstar slips off for good this time, at least for this session.
Yeah, no, I think she might become a fixture now.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
I
a
love her.
beloved
She's-
NPC.
She's it's just really cute. Fucking
Mm-hmm. Southern
Well,
Fried
now-
Hydra.
well, now she's on officially on the
Southern
ally
Fried
list.
Hydra.
Yep.
She's on the what?
And we can add her to the ally list.
So
Yeah.
did the getting her an ally basically nullify the last fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would we have been able to talk through that one or no?
No,
Okay.
because the Athank is not super intelligent. Thunderstar is able to communicate with it, mainly because she's big enough that it has to take her seriously, whereas you guys are bite-sized snacks.
Yeah, yeah.
The swamp is better. The swamp is better with it still around.
Yeah, definitely with the Mars militia trying to come through here.
It's probably why they're only able to send scouting parties as opposed to whole full regiments.
Mm-hmm.
Getting through here logistically is a nightmare.
Yep. So
I wonder how many of them were lost to the Athank alone.
we have cleared out and made this area safe. We have another part of the swamp to get through today. Do we want to do anything here before we move to the next?
Well, since this is safe, do we want to do Alex's thing here?
Like it needs healing.
No, I want to continue.
Like
Then-
it needs some healing.
Yes.
All right. While we're walking, I'll do you
Yeah,
a little
like
bit
I
of healing.
kinda took a.
You got bit.
Yeah, she lost 19 of her 53 HP.
Yeah. It's I love her, and it's good that we befriended her because that's it's cool. But also, holy shit, she
Yeah.
done fucked this up.
Hydra's hit hard. It was about time we met one of the classic Greek monsters. I mean, granted, she's not the same species as the Lernaean Hydra in Midyaheim, but
I mean,
okay.
yeah. I was looking forward to meeting a Hydra and all that.
yeah, I made sure we
It's bound to
had
happen.
at least one encounter.
Hey, you get 40 HP back.
All right, I'm back up to full. I was 8 away from crisis.
Oh, God, I think I have a thing
Right.
that increases how much I
You-
use for healing.
You find yourself in a deeper, darker part of the swamp. The air is really humid, and there is a thick scent of rotting wood, and thriving algae and moss. There's a very deep pond as you're going down that is not the kind that would be easy to cross, and given your current experience, probably not the smartest idea to try.
Walk the log.
Well, I could freeze over some things if we needed to.
So what's on this little island? Also, like it is being extra
tree.
vigilant.
A nice little tree.
Mm,
See some other islands.
yeah, I'm squishy. I'm not going first or second.
It's this one you would have to make jump checks, like you'd have to make an actual might, double might, or double dex, or might plus dex check, to get to these other islands, because the water's really deep and the ground is more mud than solid earth. So getting to the other island without falling into the drink would be hard.
Okay.
Can I do a Monster Hunter check to see if there's what's around here? So
Yeah, I'll let you do a
insight?
double insight. Difficulty at 10.
It has worn off now. Okay.
All right.
And I'll give you a +2.
Wait, wrong dice. Wrong dice.
Yeah, you're back to your D8.
Hey.
12.
You do see some old Kelpie tracks. They're not particularly fresh. And you see, some things of mundane bog inhabitants, some tracks from
Otters.
furred animals and things, but nothing big and dangerous. The one thing you do get is that along this strip of land here, you do see human footprints. So this looks roughly to be the path through the swamp. Why am I gesturing with my mouse like here? Hard to tell because the earth is very wet and muddy. A lot of them seem kind of caked over, and interlapping. People have trod through here several times, so there's a bit of a desire path forming. But also the swamp is, reclaiming the earth as it goes.
Hold on. This is the desired path, although given that this seems to be like the only path through, it's also probably likely where, if anyone's laying an ambush, this is where they would do it.
Hell, there is. Where are you all? Oh, you're right next to me. I could probably whip something up for us to cross the water. It would mean that.
Can we see it on the other side of the lake, or where, like, if there's like another path on the other side of the lake, or?
The pond, it's mostly pond with some small islands.
But there's a lot of moisture even in the air. I might be able to just enchant our feet to freeze a little bit when you step on the water even.
All right. Like it was going this direction. Like it was, regardless of what may or may not have been seen, like it was already in the process of trying to figure out a way around anyways.
Well, I did offer the idea to, enchant us to be able to walk the water.
It also might draw attention to us.
Walking the trodden path is also going to bring attention to us.
Yeah, so.
But if walking on the water would draw attention to things in the water, but walking on the path would attract things that would.
It would also likely.
As someone who's
Although I think we have more control if we're walking on the water. I mean, things would have to come towards us.
Why do I hear boss music?
It's not boss music. It's like anime protagonist music.
Wait. Oh, we took too long.
Oh, hi.
As you're talking, you see some fellas. Whoa, that's funny. Some fellows marching through. Led by a familiar face.
Oh, a familiar face?
An upgrade.
Yeah, you see, leading this troop of militiamen is a very tall, very strong, tribune marked by the pauldrons that bear giant spikes that have real human skulls embedded on them, and carrying a trident.
Oh, this the leader
Tribune
of attack-
Grind is
Uh-oh.
leading a platoon of Mars militiamen through the swamp, and as they are following the path, they stop as they come face to face with you. Roll initiative.
Okay.
Wow, just attack. Assholes.
Well, I forgot. Never mind.
I mean, Raven,
I know.
we did fight them in a whole ass army.
Oh wow, like an Alex the Tide.
Wow.
Like I rolled a 1. Wow. No, I'm re-rolling
Who
that.
is initiative leader?
Okay, that would be like it again because I re-rolled that 1. So now it's a
And
6
I am-
plus 8, which is
Fantasy fight.
that would be a 20. Like it has a 20 initiative now.
All right, you guys get to go first. And now that we have turn order determined, just gonna briefly, pause music as the Mars Butcher turns. Tribute Grind spots you all, and you can see him squint beneath the masked face of his helm as he looks at you, and then his eyes go wide, and he's like, "The little sands on the behemoth."
But there's no behemoth.
Militiamen! These treacherous dogs stand between our great militia and glory. Annihilate them!
Treacherous, we never on your side. Would Gore like to go first?
I'd be good with
Uh,
that. I would. Okay. I want to target Mr. Mr. Grind. You said his name was. Yeah.
Yep.
With my spell that I've been trying to use forever. I would like to.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I have 3 uses of this. I think it was.
Oh my god!
before
You waited long enough for me to actually forget you had that!
It's because every villain's had either a karmic comeuppance or we just murdered them.
Alright, I don't have a donkey token, so I'm just gonna take him off the board. Yeah, it fucking works. With a wave of your wand given to you by Puck, you turn this man into a jackass.
Just squints as
The
Sorry.
armor buckles and pops off of him as he transforms, and lies in the sodden earth as he looks at himself, and you can see panic on the donkey's face as he realizes something unexpected has gone very horribly wrong.
That is 50 magic well spent.
Fuck! Nice!
Oh my god! Yeah, that happens. And Janice looks at Gore like wide-eyed.
He just like, oh, gift from Hawk. Just waves a wand for statue. Like, I remember correctly, right? TT was 3 users? Or was it just a one and done?
Yep,
Okay.
it's 3 uses, I believe.
Okay, I just make
I mean, I'd have to re-listen to the footage to remember, but 3 uses sounds correct. I mean, that's a good, comedic number.
Okay. Oh, that's my
Well-
turn.
Do the rest of you wanna get turned into jackasses?
No, they don't. So they're gonna try to kill you.
Yeah, okay.
You forgot. Dude.
Yeah, no,
It's-
that's honestly, that's fair.
All right.
And if they kill me, they might be able to bring him back. Some curses work like that.
they fucking swarm you guys. One of them does double might. Okay. Does and I think it's gonna be on Gore because he just turned their leader into a jackass. Does 28 hit you, Gore?
Yeah?
Okay. You take 19 physical and 5 fire damage.
I'll tribute.
God, I wish.
If you let me go next, I'll give you guys some resistance to fire. Unless someone else has something they want to do first.
Like, it already has resistance to fire, but I think the other guys could use it.
Okay then. Are you guys alright with that?
Yeah?
Or does someone want to stab a bitch first?
I mean, like, multi-5 means I can hit 5 enemies with the same attack, right?
Yes. Means you can do up to 5 enemies in one attack.
Alright, so, like, it's gonna take a step back and pull out the Catalyst bow. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. Why is that not working?
Oh, that's...
Did you hit the dice?
Oh. Does a
That's
22
so
hit?
funny.
Yeah, 22 hits.
Alright, so they all take 20, 5 of them all take 20 damage.
Fuck, nice. That's almost all of them.
Hold on, I think Micah might also have something else, because she's a weapon master, so... Alright, I'm navigating. Okay, it's only melee.
Mike
attack.
is a... Yeah.
Does 22 hit you, Leica?
It matches.
Then that hits. You take 16 physical damage and 5 fire damage.
So, 15 plus 2, since I'm resistant.
Yep, that's why I separate them number-wise.
Can I don't think I can give you resistance to physical. No,
No,
it is specifically elemental.
that'd be kind of crazy.
Alright, back down to
Yeah, that'd be
30.
broken. Okay, so it's me or Alex.
Go.
Go, Janice.
What?
Want to do I said go, Janice. You might want to do an AoE spell for this.
Yeah, the fire damage is only 5, so I think trying to nuke them would probably be smarter. How many of you are there? Come on, roll 20. Roll 20. Roll 20.
There's 6 of them.
Are you being so weird? What the fuck?
Well, at least it's not just me.
What the hell? Okay, so there's 6 of them. How many can I hit? Up to 3. Okay, so I can hit up to 3 creatures. So 3 creatures, 3 of them who were already hit by Leica.
Yep.
Let's see, it's gonna be 30 MP, what, 25, because I reduced some, I got a thing to reduce some of the cost of magic. And I'm going to use Cataclysm. What level is that? I think it's only level 1, but... so 3. No. Increase this total MP cost by skill level times 3. If you do so and the spell deals damage, it deals an additional 10 for each creature for every 10 mind points you increase your MP cost with. Yeah, because we have an arcane weapon equipped. Up to, okay, so let's see, that would be 60 MP. Do I have that much? I don't have 60, so I couldn't do that. Oh no, but it's -5, so 55, which I still can't quite do because I burned a lot of magic to heal and awaken things. That's a bad way, whatever. So,
I mean, Zach.
45
Definitely
MP to
awaken
do.
something in yourself.
Yep. Okay. Water whip, go!
Okay. Magic check.
And that'll be
beat their magic defense. Yeah, it does. All right.
and that'll be an additional 10 damage, so 10,
So
20,
30 ice
30
damage?
ice damage. Yeah, or
Got
water
you,
damage,
nah.
but
On 3 of them, right?
yeah,
3 that I
Yep.
hit, yeah.
it just coalesces the humidity in the air and just jabs them through the joints of their armor.
Nice. One of them didn't like that, so he's gonna hit you with a sword. Does
Yeah, that's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. It's
22
gonna
hit? Does 22 hit? 22 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You take 17 physical damage and 5 fire damage.
Okay, 17 physical damage and so that's
5 fire damage.
Yeah, 15, 19, 20, 22 damage. Ooh. Ow. Ow. I'm almost in crisis.
Nice, nice, nice.
So, Alex.
Does a 13 hit any of them?
Is it against magic defense or physical defense?
Doesn't specify. I would have to go into chat.
Then it would be physical defense. And sadly, no.
Okay.
One doesn't like that you try to hit them. Does 24 hit you?
Yes.
You take 17
Lord,
physical
they roll
damage
so
and 5
high.
fire damage.
What was that?
17 physical damage and 5 fire damage.
Thank you.
And then the remaining 2 spend their turn casting Bleed for Mars. It's there now at increasing their might, but lowering their defense for 5 rounds and their magic defense. So yeah, good. Goody goody good.
Oh
Top of
no.
the round.
Who wants to go first?
Does Gore have a nuke available?
He can, yeah. So,
I'm actually pretty spent right now, so I can't.
so yeah, I will spend the mana to summon my Arcanum, then close it, which does a happy little friendly get burst. I did nerf it somewhat to be more in line with the current mana selected.
Fair.
So it's now 20 damage to people in my vicinity.
Shit. Well,
It's eat a lot of my mana.
I should have said 3 of them were in crisis. Now 5 of them are in crisis.
Do Arcanum stuffs? I don't think Summoned Arcanums count as spells, do they?
They do not.
Okay, I was pretty sure they did, but I was just double checking.
I mean, they cost MP, but they don't
Yeah.
count as spells.
Because technically it's
They're their own thing.
yeah, class feature, technically. Yeah. Okay, well, that's my turn.
Oh, that's your turn. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Got a little spacey there. One of the Bleed for Mars guys does not like that you just cast magic on them, and lashes out at you with a delicious sword. Does 18 hit you, Gore?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, I should have upped the dice size. It's fine. They still hit. Doesn't matter. What matters is that 6 plus 10, so that's 16 physical damage and 15 fire damage.
Holy shit.
Ow.
Yeah, when they do Bleed for Mars, they get real nasty.
So that's... It's like 31 total, I think?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's... Yeah, I'm mapping that alright. Oh, neato. Alright, crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them look like they're like near death, right?
Most of them are very near
All in
death, yes.
crisis.
Man,
Most of
you
them
guys are really smart to have gotten Grind out of the way immediately. By the way,
Yeah, these guys...
Yeah, oh
hurt.
my god.
I can't imagine what that fucker would do.
Does a 26 hit?
yes, it does.
All right, so 15 plus 8 is it's 23 damage, I think.
Yep.
26,
So-
23 damage to 5 of these boys.
Okay. And the ones remaining. 23 damage, you said?
Yep.
Jesus.
Alright.
Well, 2 of those guys are shaky as hell. One of them is bleed for me though, so he's gonna go ahead. All right. Does 26 hit you, Leica?
Yes.
Okay. You take 20 physical damage and 15 fire damage. 15 fire
What
damage.
does resistance do? Cut it in half?
Cut it in half.
All right, so that's 7. So that's, I can take 27 damage, but she's still up.
Yep.
I'm at 13 HP.
I have no MP.
But
How much does it cost to heal?
Remember, you have this.
Like it's got a
It's like you
counterattack.
have the.
Like it's gonna counterattack the guy who attacked her with a Dipsa.
Use
Good.
your inventory slot to basically...
I think that guy's dead. So 28 damage. So like as the guy,
but I-
You've killed one of the Bleed for Mars fellows.
Good.
so as
Just-
Bleed from Mars lies in her, Leica just uses the drops her crossbow and uses the momentum of his swing to loop behind him, and with her dagger cleanly cut, just slashes through his throat.
Beautiful. And since that was a counter attack, I don't think it counts as
Yep.
like a move.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
that means
because-
someone else, one of
Yep.
you other guys gets to go.
Wow.
There's 2
Okay,
left.
I
This
could-
one is super shaky looking.
Which one's super shaky?
This guy.
Yeah, I mean, I have enough to do one spell, so I think I'm gonna try and take him out.
Good. Do it.
Did it roll right? Didn't
So
roll.
just
no.
him?
Ew.
You want to spend a
Just
fabulous
him, because
point to
I-
reroll that? You want to spend
Yes,
a
I
fabulous
do.
point to reroll that? You want to spend a fabulous point to reroll that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, do that shit. I would reroll the whole thing, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
All right,
Here's my
spent
fabulous
3
points.
fabulous points this session.
Alrighty, down to 1 fabulous point now.
Also, I think
Okay.
would Blythe count as a villain entering?
Grind counted as a villain, so you all get a fabulous point for that.
Sweet.
So we have
Alright,
5 this session.
11?
That is enough to beat their magic defense.
Cool,
You're
and
just
that'll
doing one of these
be-
guys?
Yeah, I don't have enough MP to do anymore.
Alright.
I have 7 MP. This just costs 5.
Right.
So that'll be 22.
The last remaining guy has already gone, so anyone who hasn't gone this round, time to go.
Alex, help us!
Is
18.
that it?
I think does 18 hit?
Okay.
TT?
Yes, that hits. So 22 light damage. Nice. Alright.
Light.
He's in crisis. And it's your top of
turn
the
order
round. You
now?
guys get to go. Back to the top of the turn order. Just you and this one last Mars Militiaman.
I have an ability. Hold on, let me go look at it. So I have Soul Steal.
Okay.
Hold on.
So you want to
Can I
steal a
use
magic
that
item
on-
from him?
Can I use that on Donkified Grind?
I mean,
I-
you could do
I
that after the
guess.
fight. You could do that after the fight. A lot of us are pretty fucked
Okay.
up right this second.
Alright.
All that does is give you an item. It doesn't.
Yeah, like an item of what was
all
specific
his-
value. If
He's
there.
a donkey. We could literally just pick up his shit now.
Yeah, all the stuff's on the floor. Or Bob.
Well, it's specifically their soul item, so it's a specific thing. So I didn't know if that mattered in combat or not. I didn't know if we're going by
he's-
Kina rules.
So what Soul Steal means is it's the Final Fantasy IX. I'm pretty sure it appeared in previous Final Fantasies too. Mechanic of you steal an item from the enemy. It's called Soul Steal because like if you're fighting a Hydra, it probably shouldn't have like a sword, but you want to be able to get a sword. So the gist of it is that you can take some of the arcana inherent, some of the magic inherent to the enemy you're fighting and create an item out of it. But it can also just be fun, actually pick their pocket. It's interpretable beyond the name
I
of the ability.
didn't know if we're going by Kina logic, so I'd only be used in a fight. But okay,
Yeah, so in this case, it's, the Grind's equipment is there for you to get.
okay. So it's like Soul Treasure doesn't matter, alright.
Mhm.
Then like is just gonna 23. Is he dead?
No, not dead, but he's pretty fucking low. Oh, wait, you said 23 for damage?
Yeah, 23 damage, and if that doesn't do it, like is gonna follow up with her multi-attack.
Okay.
She can multi-attack melee.
Alright.
So 23 plus 30.
You kill him.
Jesus.
So Leica just zooms
Alright.
in, shoves her dagger in his throat, pulls it out, and then like with her boot just kicks him into the swamp as letting the body sink.
Nice. Well, congrats, gang. You killed the Mars militia, except for there's a donkey now.
If somebody tries
A
to
donkey
do-
that is trying to run and has immediately gotten its hooves, which it's not used to using, stuck deep in the muck of the mire, and now cannot get out.
Is it thinking?
And it's
I-
braying and freaking out like Artax.
This is cruel, but fuck them. I'm gonna freeze the mud around his legs.
Actually, they'd probably just help him.
No, he means he's stuck there.
I mean,
We can
if he gets
do
his,
stuff.
if he gets his hooves free, he could just easily walk over. It doesn't matter. Just
You do
No,
know the more
yes,
no- you do realize the more noise you make, the more likely that the Afank or Kelpies are gonna come to investigate the noise.
yeah, Gore will just wave off. Just leave him. You either get eaten or seduced by the Kelpies. Either there's a better life than he lives now.
The look of terror
he is-
expressed on this gee's equine face is something to savor.
All right.
It's
Hey, what's
alright.
What
Lyca's gonna-
what
now
shit does
Lyca
he
will ca-
have?
Now Lyca will cast Soul Steel.
But again, his stuff is on the ground.
Mechanically, I'm doing Soul Steel.
Get a donkey flavored shield. Sorry.
All right, first things first, loot from all this. You guys get 5,000 Zenit.
Good.
Damn.
5,000 Zenit between the many Mars militiamen that you've slaughtered. There were 6 of them, so you get 6 copies of Mars militia scout armor.
Oh, this could be
Um,
useful.
Yeah.
And there is also some. Oh, that the dex thing should be +4. There is also some Tribune armor. Just make sure my stats are aligned.
So if we wear this, Mars can't talk to us.
Well, we have to get rid of the runes first.
Yeah.
It's not terribly hard to scratch out a room.
So the Tribune armor is basically a more advanced version of the Scout armor. And it's more pristine
Yeah.
because you didn't beat the shit out of him to get it. Just turn him into a donkey.
Or just slightly bent.
Wait, non-martial armor. Wait, does that mean I could use that?
Yes. Because the Mars militia wear a much more primitive style of armor. It's armor, it's made of some modern techniques, but it's made in the style of the armor used by the heroes of antiquity. So it's a lot more leather than it is heavy steel or iron. The metal pieces are all copper or brass. So it's a lot more flexible. It's a lot more lightweight. It makes it a bit less durable than normal plate armor, but with the magic enchantments that they've attached to it and just their skill with it, it's a lot easier. And it is designed so that common folk can learn how to use it and adjust to it very quickly. So it's non-martial armor.
That's pretty good stat
Well,
line.
Shit. That's probably way better than what I've got now, which is like all, robes and shit. Let me see. I'd want to like change how it looks, but like that's something we can do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
That's
should
what
go-
when you're repairing it with the 2 IP, you get to modify it.
Good.
Hey. Okay.
And it's
Lyca's
not
assassin-
hard to modify again because it's made with a lot of common and older techniques.
Oh, I forgot I can turn invisible once per day.
Bilbo has the
Okay,
same problem.
Where's my armor? A black tunic, which it's a bonus defense 2, bonus defense is a +1.
There are a
shit.
couple of other gifts that I'm going to give you because you solved these even if you didn't do it the way I imagined. I am gonna. And
Yeah,
I'll just say these are gifts that Sunderstar gave you before leaving. You get some
Aw.
Kelpie slime. or just things that
Oh.
you gathered while out there. It's residue from a Kelpie's transformation. You know, when they turn into a horse or back into a horse-like crocodile. It involves like slime bursting from their skin and covering them, and then eventually they reabsorb it and become their true form. This is a residue of that, 10 vials worth, and it can be used to make an unrefined transformation potion with ritual casting,
Ooh.
which allows you to turn yourself into something or someone else. Within reason. I'm not gonna let you turn yourself into like fucking Typhon, the god-ravaging destructor chimera, but you know, if you want to turn yourself to make you look like a different person or a gnome or something, I think that's doable.
What
Hydra's
can I
blood.
do with this? Yeah, we have that for the.
Yeah, so you had the stuff she gave for you. You also have some that you can use to coat your weapon with for one battle.
Ah,
It
oh,
changes damage type to poison and deals an extra 15 damage per hit. Hercules style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, like it would like to dip her arrows in that.
That is absolutely something we should do later.
Basically, you just
Also-
spend an IP point in combat, and suddenly for your next for that attack that you'd make with that IP point, its damage type is now poison and deals an extra 15 damage per hit.
Ooh.
I am tempted
Okay,
like,
so
by this Mars armor. I'm also like,
Raven, can I take the tribute armor? My defense is really bad.
is it worse than 11?
Let me see.
It's in your stats.
Where is?
Stats?
Yeah, I'm
under-
looking at it. My defense is a 9.
Okay, so yeah.
No. Yeah, it's a 9, and my magic defense is 12.
Yeah,
Also, BRB, my food's here.
Sure. Take the tribute armor.
Leica's gonna pass up on the armor.
Fair.
Yeah, you have pretty good armor from what I remember.
Yeah, Leica
You
has
got
the
some
assassin.
spares.
Yeah, Leica has the assassin's armor, which the stats are. Let me go read that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stats for Leica's assassin armor. Hold on. That's backpack. Where's equipment? Equipment is what I want.
Also, the
Defense equals Dex +2. Magic defense equals Insight +2. 2 to initiative. 2 to attacks made with dagger, and a +5 and +4 to additional stuff.
Question, TT. It says
Yes?
their defense equals Dex plus, and there's nothing plus. Does that mean they just have nothing to their defense bonus, or?
The defense is your it's supposed to be +4. I just didn't write it.
Okay, I was just double checking.
Here, I'll edit it so we don't have confusion.
No problem. It's like, even with just the magical defense +4, it's still very tempting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it also got a +3 to it also got some bonuses because Leica applied the fire gem, which gave additional defenses, math defenses, and fire resist to it too.
So yeah, I will go ahead and spend 2 IP to modify this Mars Militia armor to not look like, Fire Nazi armor.
Okay. I have Thunderstars scales. Yeah. Does that do anything for me?
They're dragon scales. There's a component to it. Dragon scales can be used for a lot of things, but you would need other resources to make them useful at the moment.
Okay.
Making armor out of dragon hide requires a lot of specialized tools, because dragon hide's not like metal, so it's hard to work with. It's tricky, and it's not like normal leather either.
Oh, that's why I had this
What?
I forgot my current armor gives me a bonus to MP recovery, which means I'm absorbing a lot of extra MP. It's gonna be.
Yeah, my my armor, I forgot, but it increases the magic damage I was doing. But I haven't used that in forever, and I get hit a lot, so
Yeah.
any little bit of added defense
At
helps.
this point, an extra
I
five,
mean,
5 MP
You know,
is
the
not
next city we go to, we could ask if we can combine our armors together to kit bash them.
true.
Yeah, that is legit something to think about. Okay,
Because we have a
so
lot of
plus
extras.
8 armor. So I'm just gonna call it for now Tribune armor instead of the Mars Tribune armor.
I just call
Yep.
mine mixed leather and metal armor. Because that's what it is.
You said it takes 2 IP.
2 IP to fix.
2. Cool. Can I? Can I make it into Minerva armor?
You could.
Oh,
It's not that difficult.
Hell yeah. So Minerva tribute armor. Okay. Plus 8. Magic defense is plus
Nice.
8 as well. God damn. This is a significant upgrade for my armor.
Yeah, this is.
Well, you're gonna
Very
need
good.
an upgrade.
Initiative plus 7. I haven't upgraded my armor in forever
That's Minervans at least.
because like a lot of it, you know, was armor, which I can't use, and I've kind of avoided all the training things that the rest of you have done because it's like, well, I'm a mage.
All right. We are at the end of what I had planned for tonight. You guys, I think you guys have a sleeping bag or two, right?
yeah,
We've bought those in the past.
have a
want to
tent.
summon Andromalius.
We bought a couple
Yeah,
of tents,
so you
I
can-
remember.
You can use a tent to have
Yep.
fucking interlude scene, to recover and all that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And if you want to, you could then also do Andromalius, use a tent again, and be fresh for next session.
With the tent heals us.
Yeah, it gets your MP and HP back to full. To restore your IP, you need to stay in an inn in a town.
That's fine.
That's fine. I still have 6 of that.
That's the one disadvantage tents have compared to inns.
I'll take it because ow, one shot almost brought me to crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to have that recovery than not.
Yeah.
14 defense. That feels so
Um,
much better.
Okay, I need to add a plus 3 to my accuracy checks. How do I do that? Okay. Plus. Oh wait. Is that a plus 5 now?
Alex, are you feeling
I-
Andromalius tonight, or do you want to say that for next session?
Next session.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe. All right. Then I think we're good there. If anyone has any character arc you want to do with the interlude, otherwise we can call it here.
Yeah. As we get all settled in, and I guess we're like, me and Gore are adjusting our armor.
Mm-hmm.
So is that the first dragon the rest of you ever seen?
Gore will shake
Yep.
his head.
I've seen a few.
Gore will shake his head. First I've interacted with.
Not the same for me. Because like I'm sure I've like visually clocked dragons before, but right?
Yeah. Just having studied to be a wizard, you would have at least seen lots of textbooks on the uses of dragons in an ingredient sense.
Okay.
As well as probably some like stuff about their culture and how to interact with them. Because many wizards find that it's a lot easier to get dragon material by bargaining with living dragons than by trying to slay dragons and take it themselves. Slaying dragons is hard.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever. Yeah, same. First time I've ever talked to a dragon.
Leica is gonna keep her where we left. Keep an eye and ear to where we left. What was his name?
Grind.
Centurion
Tribune
Grind.
Grind.
Do we hear the telltale splash of kelpies nearby?
You don't. Grind is just sort of stuck there in the muck, looking increasingly despairing, as much as a donkey can look despairing. Clearly had a loss as to how to deal with his new life as a jackass. He might figure it out. Perhaps he'll find a friendly ogre and they'll go on adventures.
Hey, you know, maybe he'll turn his life around as a jackass.
In the first Midgehheim Fabula Ultima campaign, the gang encountered an ogre who threw donkeys as one of his attacks. Just chucked donkeys at people.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
It was fun. I have fun.
Can I make a bond with
Thunderstar? Yes.
Thank you.
can.
Thunderstar. Thank you. Jeez.
You absolutely
If I
can.
write it down, it'll be easier to remember it.
Yes, I will absolutely allow you to make a bond of Thunderstar.
Woo. Thunderstar.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Let's see.
before we
bond
leave
with
the
him.
area in the
Oh,
morning,
I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
Leica is going to. You might want to stop praying to your god and see if he'll listen. Who knows? Maybe divine providence will give you a new lease on life.
Jackass gives you the most surly look. But all he says is,
After all, it's pretty After all, it's pretty obvious. None of your companions ever actually heard Mars. That's what your armor does.
Upper echelon.
Try it now and see what happens.
If anyone
Lord
can
knows-
get you out
Lord
of
knows
this,
it help-
it's going to be
Lord knows
Mars.
it helps Lord knows it helped Corpse.
Go.
the jackass says nothing.
If not, well,
um,
there's kelpies out that way if you want to make your new life quick. Ciao.
we're resting in a tent, so there's no chat
Yeah,
right
but
now.
that's the morning. So it seems like we're wrapping up. You guys are heading to Volcamp once you get out of the Desolate Mire, right?
Or
Yes?
go.
So.
Do you want me to?
Let's determine
Yeah.
that for sure because this affects what I plan for next session.
do you
When
want
we
to start
leave the
recording?
Desolate Mire, where are we going?
Do you want me to stop the recording?
I'm
Are
gonna
we
put
going for like one of the
admiration.
castles that may or may not have Philosopher's Stone? Or
I would
did
say the
we-
most. So like it looks like there's there's this area is really where you're going to be splitting. You can either try to go straight to Marteres, the headquarters of the Mars Militia. I'm going to suggest
Oh,
you
no.
don't go to where that is. You can go to Volcamp, where they're apparently been taken over by the Mars Militia and are building something for them, but they're not the headquarters. There's this place. Who knows what's there?
Let's go to the mystery place. If nothing else, it gives us a base to scope out Volcan.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, go there first, because theoretically, there's
Alright.
not going to be a bunch of Mars militia there, although there might be, but there's going to be them in Vulcan
Also,
too.
it's near where one of the castles where a Philosopher's Stone might be.
There's still
Yep.
the
There
Dogen
are-
Mount.
And, you
also
know-
the Dragon Castle.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep,
Dragon area.
The mystery castle right here is next to Castle Otranto and Castle Caracosa, which both might have Philosopher's Stones, and also not too far from the den of the Dragon of Mars.
Exactly.
So if you went to this place,
Yeah.
it's probably not too far to get to the big objective, which might help you in Volcamp and Marteres.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We might cause a civil war in the Mars Militia.
Yeah. Or defeat them entirely.
Speaking of, do you want me to
Yeah.
stop recording here?
I'm not-
Or...
Well, okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we got that bit taken care of.
Okay.
Any other character business? Yes, no, no, no. Okay, good. I also want to say, I think we've talked a lot about why Nani's betrayal is really bullshit, but like also Jumba, like it's not fair to Jumba. Like he's a character that has a function in the fucking narrative, and like there is something about Jumba having to come to terms with that he's not been the best creator to his creation, and that he wants respect for what he does, and he realizes that that respect comes in part by loving this creature that you've made. But he can't just be the creator of Stitch, he has to be the father of Stitch, and that's an important arc, and it's all a part about this theme of family and how being a flawed person doesn't mean you're not worthy of love and can't have a family. Like that's the theme of the movie, and if you make Jumba just a villain and he stays a villain, you fuck it up. Anyways, good night everybody.